Hello folks, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Stately, and we are playing City Skylines today. Check it out. The fair town of good intentions. Episode 10 already, time flies. Today we're going to do some suburbs, because every town worth its salt needs some suburbs. Now in fairness, I don't have a whole lot of residential demand right this second, so it's going to be kind of a speculative development, I suppose. Maybe what we can do is put in a little decor while we wait. By decor, I mean mostly trees, because trees are nice. Who doesn't like trees, right? Let's turn this down so that we don't end up with a gazillion of them on one spot. That's always an issue. And we'll just kind of fill in some of these areas that we've intentionally left blank for purposes of spacing. I don't know if that house just went up in value because of my trees, but I'm going to assume that's the case. I've put down some asphalt here to kind of connect these buildings together, and here as well with a little park in the corner. But again, trees are good. And we'll do kind of the same thing here. Just fill up the blank areas, make it look more pretty. I seem to have misplaced my ground coverage. There's some foliage and some shrubs that you can place, but I can't find them anywhere. And I'm not sure what search term to use. It's not really a palm tree kind of place, is it? But I feel like we need something other than just the collection of pine trees. I think there are redwoods in here. Giant redwoods. Maybe we can have like a small stand of giant redwoods here. That looks nice. And then we have these areas back here. As you can see, I put up a little bit of fencing here to kind of prevent people from falling out of their backyards and rolling into the river. Really? Corsican pine. Well, that's cute. I think we can fit a few of these in here too. It's a little bit of variety, but it's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for just the regular pine trees I was just using, and they're called, conifers. Really? Okay. I mean, I have no objection to calling it a conifer. In the area back here, I'm not sure I left enough space, but I thought it would be nice to have a little trail going along the water side. I'm not sure we'll have time for that today, but if we do, that'll be cool. Look at this. It's almost like there's a brush. This is nice. I like this. More trees is more better. I'm not getting a whole lot of trees. I think it doesn't place on steep slopes or something. No big deal. We can fill some stuff out manually as well if we need to. Doesn't that just look infinitely better already? And we didn't even do a whole lot. Let's put some more little bits of decor in here and there. Not sure why I just put down an old pillbox. That's not what I was trying to do. I thought it was a rock. I thought it was a rock. I'm looking for something more like this, to be honest. And I don't know, this is kind of big, but maybe we can pop it down somewhere. Or maybe we can't, that's fine too. Rock formation number 4. That's my favorite rock formation. I really love their first album. And it looks, I was going to say it looks out of place, but it kind of doesn't. Trench ruins. There's some stuff in here that I've barely even looked at. Oh, the vegetation is just called vegetation. Okay, alright. I found the vegetation. It's under the rocks, because of course it is. And then I kind of want to do the same thing here. Oh, look, our residential demand has gone way up. That means we can start building soon. But let me just... Bigger brush strength. There we go. Foliage. Look at that. Doesn't that make a huge difference already? And then we'll go back and grab a couple of those conifers. I'm a little unclear on why the brush size seems to be dependent on the thing you select. Like the vegetation has a smaller brush size when you select the same size here than the trees do. And that's a little weird to me. But, you know, whatever. Alright, am I actually getting vegetation here? Yeah, I'm getting these little speckles of grass. That's what we're looking for, just to add a little bit of variety. I mean, look at this. This looks so much nicer now. And I haven't really done much of anything. Just added a few trees and some shrubs. Yes, they demanded a shrubbery. Somebody's going to make the joke, so I might as well do it myself. Okay, we've killed some time. We've got our residential demand back up. Let's build a suburb. I was going to put something down here. And before we do that, I think we need to move our power plants. Because that's not something people want to live close to. So I figure we can put them back here in these oil regions. Because it's kind of out of the way. There's already some road infrastructure. Let's just make sure that it's properly connected to the power grid. It is not. Oh, yeah, it is. I have some power lines running over here. So everything is properly connected. Is there water? There is water. Okay, we should have no power issues. Let's go ahead and delete the unnecessary power lines. And, alright, let's get started. So, this area here kind of doesn't fit in with what I'm planning. I don't think I'm going to dezone it, but what I am going to do is take out the residential areas in this little section here. Just here, I suppose, we can leave this in, that's fine. Alright, now, this is going to be a 4-lane road with parking, so that will be this guy right here, and we're going to run from here towards the back. We'll follow the line of the hills here. I have an idea for this area, by the way. I think this here might be our zoo. It's kind of nestled away in these two spurs here, and I think it would be a fantastic location for a zoo. But that's for a future episode. Okay, let's start with a reasonably long straight section, something like that. And then we'll start more or less following the line of the hills here. You don't want to go completely overboard, but we are kind of hugging the hill. Alright, a couple little modifications here. Let's straighten this intersection out. Just a bit. Okay, turn on the snapping. I'm not sure what's happened here, but this is clearly not good. So I think our best bet, let's just, oh poop. I just broke some power lines that I guess I don't need. Yeah, these are all redundant power lines now. Once your town starts expanding, most of the power lines end up being unnecessary. So we'll just be smart about it and run the road from here to here. Just like that. Got a little bridge there. That's unexpected, but it'll work. And then the actual suburbs. Let's start with an entryway into the suburbs. Again, 2 lanes. We'll do 2 entrances. Will we go straight? Yeah, we'll keep these straight. And then we'll go down to a simple 2-lane road, again, with parking. And we're going to kind of do the classic American suburb look where the roads don't necessarily seem to make sense at first glance. But they do end up filling out, and I need to be careful not to accidentally make a swastika. I would be mocked incessantly if I did. I wish I could do little cul-de-sacs, but I don't believe that I can. But we can have, just a little branch road like that. And we can do something similar here. And then we'll just carry on with kind of the same theme over on this side. Let's just go all the way down here and we'll connect them together there. And we'll have something like that. That seems decent. Same thing out this way. And we can go farther out here too. Just kind of filling the area out now. I was going to run this down here, but I think maybe this just needs to be a little connector road. Probably something like that. Okay, so I think it would make sense to connect these 2 roads together. Like so. And we're going to do a little bit of work for the pedestrians and the cyclists. I have my new favorite path type over here, the combined pedestrian and cycle path. Cycle path, not psychopath, cycle path. Really, guys? Really? Why you gotta be like that, game? Why you gotta be like that? Have I wronged you somehow? I guess we need to run like a little offshoot roads on the sides in order to get the psychopaths to line up. And I think I might have the same problem here, so we'll just do the same thing here and run a couple of little side roads. This one can actually go farther, like that. So can this one. This one can go out to, say, here. Okay, and now we can do our coveted cycle paths. There we go, look at that. Little leg up for the, oh, come on, really? That looks hideous. Why you do this to me, game? Why you do this to me? Let's try it from here instead. Come on. Fine, there. I'll put a little curve in it. Put some English on that. That'll be fine. Same thing over here. And these connections just look ridiculous. I wonder if I can just fix this by turning this to... Oh, geez. No, we cannot. That's a terrible, terrible idea. Let's try it again. We'll do a straight line, I guess, because that curve, that doesn't seem to work. Or maybe we can go like this. Well, that side looks fine, but this side is still absurd. There. No, not there. That looks good enough. It's a little silly, but it looks good enough. And I think that should pretty much set us up here for our neighborhood. Let's go ahead and give these people water. My understanding is that residents of simulated cities like water. I guess we'll just kind of zigzag this. There's no benefit to connecting these things in multiple places. The whole water system is actually really simple to the point where it almost feels like a wasted opportunity. There's no issue with like water pressure or pumping, and you know, maybe that's for the best. Maybe that wouldn't be an interesting gameplay mechanic. I can imagine it not being terribly exciting. So that's what a suburb looks like before you put any houses on it, folks. But of course we are going to put houses on it. And this is all going to be low density residential. I don't want to fill this entire area in. We're going to have kind of a buffer zone here. So let's use the marquee tool for starters. And you know what, before we do that, actually, let's put some amenities in. Let's put in some facilities here so that the people will be happy. Couple of parks. And we're looking for something suburban looking, nothing too crazy. So that's probably going to end up being one of the default parks. We've got park with trees. And we can put that, what about here? Seems like a good place for it. The alternative would be maybe here. And I like that too. Okay, tree with parks, park with trees, words with friends, friends with words. Yep. It is good, and he saw that it was good. Stop bending my roads. You bet my rookie. And we'll put a smaller park on the other side. I want this to be just a nice middle-class neighborhood. A dog park, yes, quite so. And we'll put that here. So we got that one there. I think right about here would be good. And then we'll put down a few more little connecting lines for pedestrians. Again with these weird connections, but I guess this is kind of okay. And we'll do it here. That one doesn't even fit. Maybe we won't do it there. Are there any other places we do want to connect? I don't think so. Okay, let's go ahead and start zoning this. And let people start moving in. So we're just going to start with the most obvious areas here, and we'll work our way around. We'll leave some gaps here and there for aesthetics, in part because just filling it up completely never looks very good. Elk Street. The Elk Street gang. And here... all of this, and we'll leave a little gap here, and then we'll go all the way down to here. You know what, I should unpause this so that it can actually start filling up. Isn't that clever? Yes, I know you have no electricity. You'll deal with it until things start filling in here. Which they're just starting to do now, so that's good. In suburbia, you can hide. What else does a little suburban neighborhood need? How about a library? We haven't built any libraries yet. But this would be a great place for a neighborhood library. And let's put it on one of the larger roads. We can put it on... Oh, we could put it on the corner here. Now let's move it in a little bit. Something like that. I think that's a good place for a library. The kids will love it. You guys need to like start building in places where there's already electricity instead of building in places where there isn't and then whining. But we can fix this. Can you fix it? Yes, we can. Had to de-zone a little bit to do that, but that's no big deal. Okay, back to the zoning. We're already running out of residential demand. That's not unexpected. A little more space here in case I decide I want to put in a connection. And then back here, I might put a little bit of commercial back in these corners here, heading back out towards this connector road. Eventually. But for now, we're just going to stick with the original plan. And here, and here too. All of it needs to be residentialed up. And right up to about here. Okay, that's kind of the basic setup, I guess. Well, let's go ahead and do just a little more fill here. I don't see why we wouldn't. And there we go. That will be our residential neighborhood. Now, as far as livability goes, we will set up some hedges to kind of give some visual and noise protection. We'll put those up kind of towards the back here. Not because I necessarily plan on... Oh, not exactly what I had in mind. I ended up with two separate sections here. Is that all I get? I guess that's all I get. So we're going to go ahead and just do that again. That's still got a gap there. How very strange. I wonder if it has anything to do with that power line at all. Maybe these hedges just aren't meant to be interconnecting. Or at least not fully interconnecting. Let's try the other ones. Maybe those will work better. They're smaller. But they still look fine. And we'll just continue on over here. but we'll do it in sections instead of all in one piece. Hopefully that will connect better. And so far this is looking pretty good, right? I'm going to have to move this one around a little bit to get everything to fit in properly. Yeah, just like that. And I'll move this down a little. Can we turn the snapping off on this? I think we need to turn the snapping off on this because I kind of want to have these hedges come up to the... This is kind of weird the way this works. Kind of want to have these hedges come right up to the road back there. Maybe not there. Here as well, we can try to get this stuff to align. I'm snapping and I'm not supposed to be snapping. Oh, I guess I didn't untoggle snapping. So, yeah, I am supposed to be snapping. No, can I please? Oh, that's odd. And a little irritating. But it's okay. Alright, more hedges. More hedges, please. Excuse me, sir, may I have more hedges, please? We'll just kind of unceremoniously cut it off there. Okie dokie. What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Why you do this? Why are you so bad? Okay, that gives our residents a little bit of privacy and hopefully a little bit of noise protection. It is starting to fill in. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of trails down on these paths here. Okay, that's irritating. 1 second, please. We are... Okay. Sorry, my stopwatch stopped. And I know that, you know, it's kind of in the nature of the stopwatch to stop. But you kind of want to be able to tell it when to stop instead of it doing it randomly when it feels like it. Maybe that's just me. Let's see. From here to there, and from here to there, and I don't even know if I can put it down here. It's too close, but it's no big deal. Alright, well, I've completely killed my residential demand, and it'll probably stay dead for a while. Meanwhile, I have some places in urgent need of electricity here. So we'll get that taken care of. I still have enough electrical availability, although it's starting to slow down a little bit. Do we have any kind of public transport in this area? We do not. So that's something we'll want to take a look at some point. Let's go ahead and beautify the road here. Our standard American suburbs dictate that we need, you know, trees here and other features to separate the road from the residential areas. And then once the actual suburbs have filled in, we'll pop some roads down there too. You know what we can do on the other side is we could put down, and I haven't done this yet, but we could put down some billboards. I have a decent collection of them, including these standing ones from the workshop. Here's one for Denny's. So, you know, you come into town and you're hungry and desperate, and you see a sign for Denny's and you're like, ooh, Denny's. And then you're like, I'm not that desperate. But we still got to put up the signs. What is this? I kind of like this. I wonder if I can put it down by my strip mall here. I think, like, on the corner, maybe? I want to put it down without destroying something. And it looks like there's no good place to do that. Shift S was prop and tree anarchy, or Shift A, or Shift P. I forget which one is prop and tree anarchy. Options. Toggle prop and tree anarchy, Shift P. Didn't I do Shift P? I thought I did Shift P. Alright, prop and tree anarchy on. Back to my billboard. This one. And we'll put it right here on the corner. It'll be an ad for our strip mall. Just like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. These billboards here look kind of out of place, honestly. They look, well, they don't look out of place, they just look lonely. But you know, whatever. That's fine. Okay, we got a fair amount of commercial demand and a fair amount of industrial demand going on here. As far as expanding our industry goes, we have a few options. This might be a valid place for an industrial area. Or we could go a little bit farther out and maybe set something up here. One thing I'm wanting to look at, though, waterways. If we want to do industry, it would be nice eventually if we could have a harbor. And as far as I can tell, this is like the sum total of the available navigable waterways. So that would mean that maybe here would be a good place for an industrial park, or here. But let's not go out and expand quite so extensively just yet. Let's put down a little bit of industry over here. This seems like a valid place. It's got good connections. It's close to already polluted areas, so I'm unlikely to do anything with it. So yeah, that seems okay to me. We'll go with a 4-lane road. We'll run it out from here. Let's get that snapping back on so I can have my nice 90-degree angle. Why am I not getting a 90-degree angle? It goes from 84 on one side to 85 on the other. Why you gotta be like that, game? Oh. Oh, yeah, so this is getting put down as a bridge. We don't want that. So page down. That's better. This intersection is just a little bit raised. Not a huge deal. Oh, now you're snapping. Okay. All right. I don't mind. Then we'll have a few side roads coming out, and those can be smaller roads. You know what would be interesting? I wonder if we can make like a dock side here. Let's find out. So what we'd want to do is we'd want to basically raise the terrain out towards the water side here a little bit. And we can do that by selecting the terrain height right about here, I suppose, and taking this brush size and putting it up to maybe 20 with a bigger brush strength. 20 is too small to do anything useful with. Let's try 100-ish. See what happens. That actually looks kind of like what I had in mind. I think it's a little too low, just a tiny bit too low. So let's raise it up a little bit. We'll put the center point here, and we'll go like that. What the? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the way the water's working here. This seems odd. Got a section of road drowning now. Now it seems to be drying out. A little strange, right? But we'll just try to raise it a little further, I guess. I guess something like that might be okay. This might not work out. I'm starting to think I'm not feeling this. Especially since it looks so strange underwater. But anyway, let's move on to the next step and see what happens here. We'll put down quays, keys. Around these. I wonder if I should just do like straight corners. Can I do like this? I'm not sure what it's snapping to. I might have to move this around manually a bit. But I do want to see how this ends up looking. Yeah. All right. Let's manually jigger this around a little bit. Try to get a reasonably straight edge off of these. And go something like that. And then we need to use the terrain tools to lower this down. It's... that's the wrong button. That was the wrong button. I'm not sure what I've created here. I've created kind of a monster, I think. Especially since I've really messed up the interiors here. Okay, we need a smaller brush size. And then we need to flatten this out. That should be easy enough. How is this flooding? I mean, seriously, how is this flooding? This is way above the water level. No, it's not. Apparently way above the water level. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. What have I done? I've managed to cause some pretty serious flooding is what I've done. Great. Everything's working just fine. What I don't understand here is where this water level is coming from. Because up to here, this is all fine. this wall is higher than that wall. So, and this does seem to be flowing away, so maybe it's just an artifact of the way I placed these. I feel like I made a dam, though. Let's go ahead and flatten the ocean bottom out here a little bit, because I kind of cocked that up, too. Oh, boy. Now what? Yeah, let me see if I can get these two connect together properly. So we'll go ahead and redo the water side here. And we'll just do a straight... Oh, come on, really, guys? Seriously? Turn my lock back on and... Here. I'm pretty sure we can get this straightened out. Oh, you know what the issue is? It's two different types of key that I've been using. And they might not like connecting together. They do not like connecting together. Well, we'll worry about that later. But now that this has decided it's not flooded anymore, we might actually get some mileage out of this. So, let's take a look here. We want basically a road from the middle of this, heading straight back. I guess straight means straight. Turn off the snapping. Then we'll do the same thing here. Well, maybe we'll have to put a little curve in this one towards the end. I don't understand why I keep getting flooding here, but it's obviously this isn't going to fly if that keeps flooding. Maybe I'm just not understanding the hydrodynamics of the situation here. If that keeps happening, I'm going to have to rethink my brilliant and cunning plan, though, obviously. Because, you know, nobody really likes it when your industrial zones are permanently flooded. And I'm not sure what's going on here either, but I'm going to go ahead and level that area out to this level. That gap still needs something. I need to do something with the gap. Mind the gap. Mind the gap. I went a little overboard on lowering this apparently because this looks... Well, it looks better now. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of unappealing. The water level is mystifying to me. The fact that it keeps just arbitrarily kind of flooding itself is very strange. But let's, oh, jeez. Let's see what we can do with it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and zone this, and then we'll just see what happens. Let's get some water in here. Get some water up in this. And here as well, I suppose. Electricity, we got our power plants right over there, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And here are our industrial zones. We'll see how this fills in. It hasn't really turned out the way I had hoped, so, you know, we might end up undoing this and coming up with something else. I don't know how easy it would be to like completely revert this. Am I causing any traffic issues here? Not so far. We do have a lot more industrial demand than this will fulfill, so let's go ahead and add some industry over here along this road. Perhaps not quite there. And then we'll do a second road over here, kind of sort of parallel to the first one. I guess that'll do. We're going to need a little bit of parking, so let's put down a parking lane in the middle. I can remember where the parking lanes live. Do a simple one. We'll do this. Not really what I had in mind. Also not really what I had in mind. Something like that, and then we'll put one over here. That'll do. Yeah, the 8s never fit, but the 4 should. Well, you know what? I might actually be able to fit an 8 in here. Let's try it. It's very exciting. Oh, look at that. Why is it not connected on that side? That's a little odd. Not sure what that means. Not quite sure what it means. Okay, industrial parking done. Industrial zoning underway. Not what I had in mind. Y'all need to build closer to the power supplies, please. Thank you. Please and thank you and thank you and please. Leave this open in case I decide to run a road out that way. And then a couple of little spaces down here for things like those gas containers and stuff like that. Just to give it a little bit of infill. Okay. And all of these places have... why are you complaining about not having water? Is there a problem with the water supply here? Okay, that should solve the water issue. And then the power issue, very temporary measure. I can probably take this down in 3 minutes, but for now we have to do that. What have we here? A little clothing factory by the look of it. Oh, and something has gone terribly wrong here too. Okay, let's see what's going on. Back to our road. What is this? I'm sorry about the clothing factory, guys, but something weird is going on here. Yeah, I know. We're having some leveling issues, apparently. It would appear that something might be a little too steep. Let's try it from... What is going on? Alright, I'm going to turn my snapping back on because there's some weirdness going on here, and hopefully the snapping will fix it. Ha! Got it. Yeah, just some leveling issues, not the end of the world. And I broke the power lines again, because of course I did. So now I gotta redo those. Fortunately, we can do it a little bit easier now. We can just run from here to here to here, and all is well in the world. Except for this power line, which doesn't need to be there. Yes, we have power now. Everybody has stopped complaining about the lack of electricity. Well, actually, other than the fact that the water side's really high, this doesn't look terrible. Again, with the weird water issues. Something has clearly gone awry here. So we'll just start afresh. It's probably because of all this raising and lowering that I've been doing. There we go. Okay, now to support this, maybe a little bit of retail on the corners here. That's always a pleasant change of pace, and we have a good amount of retail demand. Yeah, you know, this'll work. What is with the water supply, though? Let's try this again. And again, and again, and again. Is this snapping properly now? There's still no water running there. There we go. All right, water supply has been fixed, hopefully. Here's hoping. We got a couple more little spaces here that we can do something with. Cool. Okay, little industrial area. The little industrial area with a serious crime issue. Let's go ahead and I'll look at our suburbs. Look how nicely that filled out. Doesn't that look good? I think this looks great. Let's decorate it a little bit, put some trees in here. Back to our favorites. The conifers. We'll do big brush size, low brush strength, and just kind of paint in some trees. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that. It's like pretty in a spray can. It's like spray can pretty. Buildifolia. Foliage. We're trying to do foliage. Really? No. Wasn't it called foliage? Weren't we looking at it just at the beginning of this episode? Anyway, it's under the rocks. I should be able to find it now that I know that it's under the rocks. Look how pretty this is. We got our little bike paths going here that people are actually using. That's good. Our library is not very popular considering it costs us $400 a week. And we did hit 10,000 residents just now, so that's cool. And then we have this rear access road, and we can do all kinds of cool stuff back here too. How are we doing for time? My stopwatch suicided on me earlier, but we still have a few minutes. So let's go ahead and check out our public transit system and have a look at our traffic. We have no serious water. Why always with the water issues over here? What is... Oh, this one's definitely my fault. This is just me not running the water lines where they need to go. Okay, I'm done whining now, briefly. Let's see. Okay, this is easily solved. There's not supposed to be a stoplight there. Just take out the stoplight and put in a yield sign here, and that should no longer be a problem. This is not an issue. I don't think it will be. There's no stoplight there. That's not even a road connection, is it? I seem to be getting that a lot. And that's not really intentional, but I think... No, that's not how we want to do this here. Let's go ahead and... this could get messy if I bulldoze this. I guess we'll leave it be for now. Let's see if we can come up with a better solution. And this is filling in. This is not a very popular place to start up a business. I kind of get that, I suppose. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. With the parking lots, they can't be on ramps. I forgot about that. We're going to have to go in and revise this because these parking lots have to be flat or we get all of the floating parked cars. And Lord knows that's a pain in the butt. But technically they're not connected here, right? Let me see if we can... just lower this. And be done with it. That's a lot of lowering. That does seem to do the trick. Okay, well, oh, ladies and gentlemen, I have made it worse. I have made it much, much worse. Okay, all right. Nothing to it, nothing for it. We gotta make some people sad. This whole area is jacked up. So let's do some manual flattening. Smaller brush. This is where we want to be. This is where we want to be here. We want all this to be reasonably flat. Turn that brush strength way down so that we can get it to be a little more gradual here. And what I'm trying to do is kind of just make the rocky bits go away so that it's a more smooth slope. Something a little more like that. Now I'm okay with not having a road connection here, and it's going to be hard to do anyway. Maybe what I'll do instead is have like a slip road or a parallel road connecting them together. But let's start here. And hopefully this will clean things up to the point where it's a little more usable. All right. There we go. Look at that. That's significantly better. So we can go back and rezone some of this stuff and hopefully everything will be okay. We won't go all the way back there because if we do, we'll get really, really steep slopes between the buildings. That gives us more room than we originally thought we would have because we can fill in these areas. And I think that should work just fine. We've lost some potential zoning here, and that kind of makes one of these parking lots a little redundant. But they're there now. Now, is this like unreachable, or is it just so far out of the way that nobody's interested in building there? I can't really tell. I'm still not sure this was a good idea. It's, you know, it's interesting, but I don't know if it's like hugely aesthetically pleasing. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I let it be? Should I try to fix it up a little bit? Should I keep going? I'd like to have a harbor somewhere around here at some point. And I'm not quite sure if I left myself the opportunity to do that. The police station's right over here. And, well, I think it might be time for another one, but I don't think here is the right place for it. We'll think about that later. Okay, so let's take a quick look at what we've done today. We put together our neat little American suburb here, and looks very suburban. Suburban. Beneath the city, suburb. Orbis et Urbis, the world in the city. I think maybe we'll put some hedges down here as well. You know what we should also do while we're here? And I know this is kind of the review section of the video, not the one more thing section of the video, but these should really be connected together. Like that. On-street parking, that's fine. How's the traffic look here? Little rough right about here. There's no stoplight here. There is a stoplight there. We do not want a stoplight there. Just yield signs will do nicely. And same thing over here. These are not places where we need stoplights. Simple yield signs. Keep the traffic flowing much better. This is more of a complicated intersection, so we'll keep the stoplights there. And let's see, we've already taken out all of the stoplights over here. So that's our suburb. Not bad. Let's watch it from first-person view for a minute or two just to kind of see what it looks like. That's always fun, right? I like the hills in the background. We're definitely going to do something in those hills back there. Just to kind of add a little bit of variety. Maybe we'll have some high-end housing up in the hills. A couple roads switching back to the top of it. I guess I made it a little bit hard for the cops to get to certain places. Either that or these cops are just dumb. But it looks good. I like the way it looks. I think we put a little bit more decor in it at some point, and it'll be pretty awesome. And then our industrial area, I'm a little less sure about. It definitely needs some more decorations. My experiment with these waterside piers, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. That will do it for today. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the cinematic camera. Well, I wish you all a fond farewell and implore you to subscribe and like and click on the little bell button that sends you spam every time I publish something, etc., etc., etc. All right, folks, take it easy. Peace.